be explaining or instructing how to graph an inequality. This is a final product of how graphing an inequality will look like. So I'm going to take you through the steps on how to graph inequalities. First, I write my problem, -7 is greater than -2x plus 14. I start off by dividing -7 on this side, then dividing -7 on both sides. This equals out, and I only have y left. And since I divided by a negative, the signs change. So this greater than sign changes to a less than sign. And these negatives from the -2 to -7 cross out. So that leaves me with 2/7x. And right here, divide 14 by -7, and I have -2. So that's how I got from this to this. So now I will graph the inequality. I'm make my graph. Okay, so first I will start at -2 on the graph. Change the color. So I will start at -2 on the graph, and then I will go up to 1, 2, and then over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, sorry, 7. So 7. Now I will use a straight edge to make a line. Add the arrows. And that's how you graph the inequality. Well, now I have to shade. So, if there was a line, if there was an equal to line under this arrow right here, then the line would have been dotted. But since it was just a regular less than, I fully draw the line. And since it was a less than, I draw under the line. If it was a greater than, I would draw above the line or shade above the line. So since it's less than, I'm going to shade below the line. Okay, that's how I got this, and I did the steps to get it again. So now let's do one more example. So I have this, -9 plus y is less than or equal to 2/5x minus 15. Okay, so I will graph this one. I'll go through the steps to graph this. Okay. So I'm going to add 9 to both sides. So I add 9, then add 9. This crosses out. This crosses out. Then I get 10, 15. Then I get -6. This crosses out. I bring my y's down. And since I didn't divide by a negative, I keep the sign the same. So y is less than or equal to 2/5x minus 6. That's what I got. Okay, so now I'm going to graph this equation. Let's get a different color. Okay, so now I will start at -6, go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I will start from this -6 and go up to 1, 2, and I will go over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and since I went up instead of going down, it's because the numbers are positive. If this would have been a -2, I would have started down. Same as the 5. Since it was positive, I went to the right instead of the left. Okay? So I'm going to use my straight edge to graph this again. Oops. Okay. So now I drew this line, but I messed up. Since there was a line right here, I need to make a dotted line. So a simple change. I'm going to use another color to indicate that it's a dotted line. So, I draw my dotted line. And since there's a line, or since it's a less than, I shade underneath the line. Shade underneath the line. Okay? I shade underneath the line with the dotted line. So, if it's like this, if the sign is like this, you just do a straight line. You graph a straight line. But if the sign is like this, you do a dotted line. And I went too fast, and I forgot to do the dotted line. So, easy thing to fix, just over a dotted line. And I'm using marker, so if I would use the pencil, I'd be able to erase it. But I will just go over here, dotted line, restart, and let's do this. Then I shade under. And that's how I graph the inequality.